show YOP, which is short for Yearnings of Portability.
What does that mean?
The idea of portability has been in my life for a long time, as far as dealing with the things I own, the things I make, and how much stuff as individuals we carry around with us because we can. And I've been interested, I've backpacked, I've bicycle tripped, and I get my possessions down to being able to carry them myself. So I've begun in my artwork to think about that idea of portability as well. You know, what can become portable. In my last show, I created a house that was a tent that dealt also with this idea of, if I had to carry around what I used in my life or what I made as an artist, what would it look like? This piece is the first piece I did. It is very unportable, but I began this piece as a way to try to embed a world into a wall. And what came out of this piece for me was a couple things. The idea that this tiny little world could be looked on and surveyed, and these characters could kind of take on these stories for me. And the piece itself is not portable, but in a way it's a small space that once you look in becomes this infinite space, this space that just goes on forever and ever.
Let's look into it.
These are model train people. So they are these little plastic figures about, I don't know, ½ an inch tall. And I've just created all these little scenes based on the poses that they come with. I don't have control over the poses, but they begin to tell stories as I put them together.
Are these real objects or are they drawings?
These are real objects. These are small scale, ½ an inch tall, white plastic figures. Set into. They look
kind of dark. Is that because they look darkish?
I think it's just the lighting on them. When they're hit with light, an all-white object will still have the sense of shadow. So from the Medusa piece, which is the larger wall world that I created, I began to enjoy these characters that began happening, these stories. I buy these figurines, they're already in the poses when I buy them, so I can't really change what they're doing, but I automatically start telling stories. This person knows this person, this is what's going on. So these drawings started as kind of a way to kind of show those stories, and in a way kind of survey from this upper view these people in their situations.
Can you talk about these two little drawings there?
These two little drawings.
These are all.
These are all charcoal. Charcoal on paper, and they're based on photos and looking at the figurines and the stories. And so, when I go into find my reference photos, I kind of zoom in and just take these random shots, and then I look through them and I pull out characters. I might pull out a group of people in one photo I like just because it shows people standing around talking just by showing their feet. And then I might pick out some figures from another photo that kind of show another two people talking, but in a very different way, in a very different mood. These people are based on the figurines that are 1/2 inch high. I see. That I use their train HO scale from a train model store that I've used inside the little worlds. So they're the same figures. So
you teach drawing?
I do teach drawing at PCC, correct. They're kind of the out of focus quality to them. I think I like I just began taking random shots without even looking through the camera, just holding the camera up. And I think that it developed that I really like this out of focus, not quite sure if they're real people or these all-white trained people or exactly what's happening. I think I liked that ambiguity. I also liked that it had a viewpoint from above, like a surveillance camera might, or someone looking down on this scenario, someone outside of the group kind of observing this quality. So I think the out of focusness comes from that.
Originally you had imagined putting rocks down there, right? To hold.
Yeah, I originally saw as a backpack, you know, something that came natural to me was using rocks to weigh it down, because I often use rocks to weigh down my tent. But when I got to the gallery, I put these paint cans as a temporary solution as I was hanging it, and really liked the idea that I was just using what was here in the gallery available. There's no rocks here in the gallery, so I used the paint cans, referring to I could bring this item to the gallery and use what's available and not have to transport it.
Oh, I see a landscape. Can I see it?
Yes. So I've created this small box. It's only maybe 6 by 10 inches.
Is that a bench there?
A little wooden bench, about a ½ an inch high. Once again, these are HO scale, so the figures themselves are about a ½ an inch. And using mirrors and allowing the space to just go on infinitely with the mirrors. There's a little tire swing. See if I can get it to, oops, bad idea. That rotates.
Oh yeah, I see the tire swing there.
So once again, I just kind of started seeing the stories behind these figures that are frozen in the pose they come with.
A round thing there is the back of this.
Of the peephole that you're looking through, reflected in the mirror on the back of the box. Because I also want you to kind of see that you are this ultimate viewer on this little world.
Like a voyeur for the viewer.
Yeah.
Those that look like telephone poles are actually what?
Those are the corners where the mirrors of the box. The box is actually
Intersect.
created by mirrors, and that's where the corners of the intersections happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a nice fluke that you see them as telephone poles. These 2 backpacks I consider the actual Yearnings of Portability. The drawings go with the show, and the Medusa piece is the starting point of the show. But the backpacks are really the yearnings of how can I port these worlds around for other people to see. So it becomes performative. So I can take them around. I've taken them on the bus and on the Max so that other people can see without coming to the gallery.
She teaches at Orton College.
That's great. She teaches at the arts and crafts.
This backpack has another box with some mirrors, not as many, but it's depicting a gallery space. And so these are people
Just like paintings on the side there.
attending a gallery show, and there are paintings that I created by using shrinky dink art, drawing on...
Actual painting. How big are those?
They are about 1 inch by 3 inches after they're shrunk. So they began as a drawing that was 4 times that big, and then I shrunk them in the oven, and they became about 1 inch by 3 inch or 4 inch drawings. And shrinking them also with colored pencil makes them look more like paintings. It kind of melts into a painting.
What do you think about this show?
What's great about Blackfish is it's an artist co-op. Of course, they all have to work very hard to run the gallery, but it's a great opportunity for artists.
So these portable backpacks, for me, they're very performative. And although you see them in the gallery, their real place, I think, for me, will be out on the street. So I would take them around, invite people to look in them, go on the Max, go on the bus, just walk around and let people see these little worlds outside of the gallery space. So to me, that's part of the advantage, and my desire to make them portable is to be able to do this kind of performance.
Portable gallery / performance.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. Portable gallery / performance.
Thank you, Theresa.
Thank you.